Hey folks, it's Reviewing McReviewface coming at you again, and fall is in the air, it's getting a little cold, and you might be thinking it's time to light up that old fireplace. There's something you need to think about before you light it. Here today I'm talking with Ryan from Canadian Chimney. Ryan, thanks very much for coming out to take a look at our old fireplace here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, a lot of people, I called you up and I said, all right, I need to have my chimney swept, but sure, there's more to it than that, isn't there?
Certainly is. A lot of people, like yourself, assume, I sweep my chimney and I'm ready to go, or everything's good, but there's more to it than that. The first thing I generally look at, when I'm doing measurements, is the hearth extension. The other thing I look for is any cracks at the opening or on the sides. The reason why cracks at the front base can be an issue is, again, an ember popping out, falling in behind, and these extensions where the flooring are all combustible materials, so materials that can catch fire. This area here is our firebox. This is a factory-built fireplace, so this back wall is actually a refractory panel. It should be a manufacturer-specific part. And on this unit, you have metal side panels. So these factory-built units, in general, are like ornamental or decorative appliances. So this unit's not intended to produce heat. These type of units, you burn one log, maybe two small logs at a time. You don't want to overfire these units. There is combustible materials in behind here, generally about 2 inches away. Now the back panel here, you can see little micro hairline fractures. That's not an issue at this time. If these fractures do become, an 1/8 of an inch or greater, then it's classified as a defect. Again, always consult with the manufacturer to see what's acceptable or not. This is your hot spot in the unit. It also takes a lot of abuse when people throw logs in. Just the nature of wood burning, even if you're burning dry, well-seasoned wood, which is what you should, less than 18%, some say 20%. There's still moisture in the exhaust gases, and again, moisture, heat gets in these and these little fractures and opens things up. Now this unit has a gas log lighter, a gas assist. I personally don't like them. The reason being is I often see people that have these gas log lighters, they light it up, they throw on a big log, and they assume that's how you build a fire. Well, anytime you have a smoldering fire, whether it be from burning wet wood, lack of oxygen for combustion, or in this case, the gas log lighter, throwing on a log, when you get that smoldering, that's when you get creosote buildup. I often see excessive creosote deposits in systems where people use these gas log lighters. I also see or a common association with these gas log lighters is a type of creosote called stage 3 glazed creosote. It's a real shiny substance, and it actually solidifies right to the surface in the system, and most standard sweeping tools won't remove it without causing damage to the system. A stage 3 glazed creosote generally requires a chemical treatment and then a re-sweep, and in my case I use power sweeping tools. Okay, so looking into the unit, we have our damper right here. So if you do have a compliant unit, and you're ready to burn, the first thing you want to do, you want to stick your head in like this. You want to look up with a flashlight. Don't assume that the mechanism's working. I've seen a lot of cases where homeowners assume it's open, they light a fire, and they smoke out their house. Stick your head in, have a look up, make sure it's open. Up inside here, so I'm looking at all the seams on the units to see if there's any defects that I can see. There is a bit of creosote buildup up here in the hood, just below the damper. I'm also looking at the connection from the top of the unit to the flue. I'm looking to see if there's any gaps in between. Especially on older units, that can be an issue. You know, right now from the bottom looking up, I'm doing a level 1 here. On the bottom I'm looking up, I can see some creosote deposits. In this case, this unit should be swept. The fire code requires any chimneys, flue systems to be swept with deposits greater than 3 millimeters. So in this case, there's clearly more than 3 millimeters that warrants a sweep. The other aspect why this is important to be swept is I can't get a good look at the inner wall of the flue here because it is covered. I can see the seams, but you know, I could get better observations in a clean unit. You know, there's other stages of creosote, the black sooty stuff on my hands, and what I can see in this unit here is defined as a stage 1. Like a stage 2 creosote, like when I get some shiny, platey looking creosote in it, that tells me, you know, it wasn't complete combustion, or the burning didn't have complete combustion. And again, that could be from burning wet wood, lack of oxygen, improper venting, maybe an issue in the system, you know, a variety of different reasons. But and then the stage 3 creosote is the glazed creosote, and that's the stuff when it catches it goes up. It's, you know, basically like a tarred substance, shiny tarred substance that fuses right to the surface. Other parts of a level 1, again, like what I do, I go outside, you know, I look at the structure, I try to look for any defects on a masonry chimney. I'm looking to see if, you know, the bricks appear to be, like, this is just facing, but if we were outside and these will, you know, full size bricks, you know, I'd look at the mortar joints, I'd look for any separation, any, you know, variance in color, vertical fractures, the brick faces, you know, especially at the top of masonry chimneys. I'm looking for any spalling, so basically brick faces that pop off. That's often associated with water damage, often a result of an improperly constructed and functioning crown or chimney cap. It's as defined in the building code. That's just a quick general summary of what's involved with an inspection. It's very important to have your unit inspected and swept if necessary.
Okay. Now you said that you know, it's required by the code here in Alberta that you should have it inspected at least once a year. What happens if you don't?
If you don't, and an occurrence happens, so if something happens because there was a defect or a compliance issue with your unit, then what happens? Are you covered by your insurance? Definitely protect your home, protect your family, have your unit inspected. Chimney professionals such as myself, I mean, we're not here to tell you what you can and can't do. We're here to guide you through. This is how it should be. Here's some compliance issues. We're not here to tell you you're bad. We're here to ensure your unit's ready to go when you want to light it up.
Things are getting cold. How busy are you right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's super busy. Late August, or let's say September 1st, right up till Christmas, it's a mad rush. For our annual clients, we always recommend springtime service, so the inspection and sweep. The reason for that is, you know, when it gets cold, they're actually removing the creosote deposits, you know, especially minus 20 temperatures and that. It's a lot harder because it, you know, freezes up, solidifies. So spring's a great time. The weather warms up, you've been burning all winter, you know, have everything swept out, that way you're not smelling it all summer long. Yeah, very busy time of year right now, but we try to accommodate everyone best we can.
Now, for those people who might be saying, okay, you know, you're busy and I'm busy and I just want to have a fire, and they're going to go out maybe to a home improvement store and get one of those logs that sweeps for you. You know, you light it up and it says it cleans out all your creosote deposits. Is that good enough?
The answer is a yes and no answer. Like, there is a benefit to using those logs, but not for your standard stage 1 creosote deposits. There's a chemical in those logs that targets the stage 3, the glazed creosote. It's the same chemical that guys like me use in a higher concentration to target glazed deposits. So that's what's in those logs. So if you do have glaze, if you're having smoldering fires, it will help chemically convert certain types of creosote. And through the burning process, if your system is venting properly, some of that will in fact be vented out. Like, it's not a bad idea to burn 1 or 2 a winter, but it certainly doesn't sweep your chimney. To remove the deposits like a chimney sweep does.
And it obviously doesn't replace the inspection part of it either.
Yeah, it's really important to have your solid fuel burning unit, or fireplace in this case, inspected at least annually. Here in Alberta, it's required by the Alberta Fire Code. I mean, literally, you're playing with fire in your home. Yeah, protect your home, protect your family. Have a professional, wet certified chimney sweep or wet certified chimney technician evaluate your system. Now, during an inspection, the technician will be able to identify if the unit needs to be swept or not. A lot of people assume simply sweeping your fireplace or your chimney renders it compliant, or that's all I need to do to make it safe, and the opposite's true. The inspection is so important. I hear of several cases every year here in Alberta where chimney fires happen, homes burn. We even get calls during an occurrence where walls are smoking. But yeah, very important to have your unit inspected at least annually after any modifications of the system or after any chimney fires, and that's defined in the Alberta Fire Code.
Okay. So if someone does want to get their fireplace cleaned, how do they reach you?
Yeah, if you want to sweep Canadian Chimney, www.canadianchimney.com.
Great, and we'll have all your contact information in the description down below, so anybody who wants to reach out can find you that way as well. Ryan, thank you very much for coming out today.
Thank you. Oh, they say it's good luck.
It's good luck. There we go. So I'm reviewing McReviewface. I'm here with Ryan. We're not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you my review on how to keep your fireplace safe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next review.